Hi, my beautiful light beings. Um, we are back again with another channel message. This time, I will be channeling from the perspective of my higher self. So my regular tone and way in which I speak, it may seem a bit different, a bit more serious, a bit more let's just say serious. As we again are becoming acclimated with the new energies of this new density level that we are currently on. Well, those who match my frequency, who have actively done what they needed to do to get to this point, to be able to ascend to a 5D level of consciousness. We're at a new phase in life within this reality because we have now entered the phase where majority of us are fully on a conscious level, completely detached from the 3D reality. While we are still here, while we are still actively doing a lot of the average human day-to-day tasks, as far as like eating, going outside, running errands, fulfilling the roles that we have to play here. A lot of us are now faced with I wouldn't call it a challenge because it's not difficult, it's just a matter of finding that balance, of balancing your 3D physical activity. Mommy's recording. Give me a second. Okay, thank you. Your 3D aspect of self and the 5D spiritual aspect of self, because it's very easy to get caught up into the extremes of either side. So in order to maintain this level of balance between the new 5th density level of consciousness versus the 3 and 4D level that some of us that we've experienced, it takes a little bit of trial and error. For me, because I have fully stepped into my calling, my divine purpose, and not just from the stance of, okay, I know that I am a spiritual being having this human experience. I know that I am loved. I know that everything is interconnected. Like that's cool. But when you get to the point of your journey where you dig deeper, and I'm talking like Akashic records deep, and you've discovered your lifetimes, you've understood the lessons that were learned in those lifetimes. You start to discover your ancestral gifts. You start to discover what your actual inheritance is. You start to really build and solidify your spiritual network. Because see, a lot of us, because remember, the same applies on each side. So again, it's not what you know, it's who you know. So a lot of us neglect to build our spiritual network. And to be quite honest with you, I feel as though the spiritual network is actually far more, not just vital, but far more important than your physical. Because the thing is that as you begin to ascend, you will find that this journey is oftentimes done alone. Even within unions, even within divine unions, this journey is often done alone. And you can have people around you, but on an internal level, on a conscious level, you're always alone in that sense. We have to get to the point now where you can either choose to remain in a comfortable level in 3D and even in 5D, or you can divulge much deeper into oneself and truly discover the complexities, is that right? Complexity of who and what you actually are. So when we hear at church and all of that stuff, right? Oh, the divine, we're made in God's image and the whole 9 yards. It goes deeper than our physical makeup, personality, all of that. We now tap into the lane of just understanding energy. Understanding how energy flows, understanding the ways in which energy can be manipulated, the way in which it can be transformed and transmuted. We then start to get to the core of things. And the core of things is literally energy. It's energy. So now you get to this point of, cool. What am I to do? How do I grow? What tools can I utilize? What's out there for me to discover so that I can expand more into self? Because once you expand into self, that is when you really get to know God. You get to know the divine. You get to know source, the higher power, the creator, whatever name, the I am. So when you hear certain people start to say that I am God, when you hear certain people start to say I am, we understand that there is no separation. There is no, okay, there's a higher thing and then there's me. No, there's no, I am that. I am a reflection of that. Because I am the physical manifestation of Source's creation. That's all we are. Physical manifestations of Source's creations. So all of the perspectives that we have is literally just the divine looking at itself through our eyes. That's it. And that is why your eyes that's the gateway to your soul. That's why your eyes can tell 1,000,001 story. You can do all the poker faces that you want, but your eyes will tell it all. Every time. So for me, I no longer utilize these lenses that I have to pay too much attention to things that I know is not going to serve my highest good. Because don't get it twisted. We get attacked every day. Those of us that's on these platforms, because we decide to put ourselves out there and we tap into the realms of the internet. Trust me, there's going to be attacks all the time. They're going to come in the form of your friends. They're going to come in the form of your lover, your family, your job, animals, your kids, nature. There's so many different ways in which they attempt to try to distract or prevent us from focusing and fully tapping into what our purpose is. Because now, the minute that you wake up and the minute that you start to question, and then don't mess around and decide, okay, I actually believe what I found out. Because, oh, it resonates with me. And my intuition, that gut feeling, is always going to be right. So I should always trust myself more than anything else. Why? Because I am divine. So we get to the point in time where you really start to understand. Really start to understand what exactly is it that you want the trajectory of your journey to be. Now, if you choose while you're still having this human experience, like, okay, cool, I'm aware of who I am, but I also don't want to deal with me being a target, me having that type of life. where I'm constantly being attacked and I'm constantly having to stay 10 toes. A lot of people, that's why you have a lot of healers that could be off in the forest for real. Because it gets to a point where you no longer desire the interaction of the actual 3D human aspect of this reality. So if you need the healing, you will come and find me. And that's how, and it's because we all deal with it, where we go through the first. In the beginning, it feels great, and you want to be able to help as many people as you can, because it's like, yo, we gotta save as many people. But then you start to look and you start to pay attention to the percentage of us versus the percentage of those that are not necessarily meant to be on the same path that we're on. Because again, remember, light and dark always has to have a certain kind of balance. It has to have a balance. It has to have a balance. In order for things to flow, flow the way in which it needs to flow, life has to have a balance. You understand? There we go. Yeah, it has to have a balance. It just needs, for the sake of your peace, you gotta figure out which way and how much you would like to divulge. Because again, this is your free will. Many are always called, but it's a road less taken for a reason. There's a reason why it's not a common road. There's a reason why everyone isn't in the history books or history books. There's a reason why not everyone gets to have a story. There's a reason. It takes a certain level of depth and courage and strength and perseverance and knowing that the purpose that you're here for is greater and it surpasses anything that you see around you. And again, I'm always gonna speak from a place of experience, because at the end of the day, in order for me to have even got to this point where I can even speak these words and I can even freely tap into a frequency that my higher self resides in, it had to take a level of growth. It had to take multiple times, multiple rounds of shadow work. It had to take plenty of ego deaths, still counting, because it doesn't stop. This journey back to self never stops. It just keeps going, even after our physical vehicles have served its time. Because that's all it is that understanding the overall grasp of dying. It's not a end-all, be-all thing. Your energy is still very much still alive and well. That's just the expiration date on your physical reality here of that aspect of your journey. So now you no longer have to worry about waking up and brushing your teeth and going to work and clocking in and taking care of the kids and all of these little distractions and responsibilities. You're free from that. You don't have to worry about the You don't have to worry about the aspect of, okay, this is the things that I have going on. And, oh my gosh, I have to answer to this person. And oh my God, I need to seek validation from this person. And oh my God, I need to be able to fit into these social expectations and standards.
You have to wait, baby. You have to wait, okay? Give me a second.
Who you are fully depends on how much you want to answer to your truest calling. How much you want to tap in to the highest version of what you know that you can be. Not what you think, not even what you feel. It's knowing. Because once you know, and that's embedded both in your conscious and your subconscious, then even when you do a little tug and pull, you're still gonna, by the end of the day, get back to the remembrance of, I know I'm here. I know who I am. I know what I have to do. I know the levels that I have to go to. I know the plan that was put out for me. Does this shit make sense? No. But that's not for my logical brain to try to figure out. That's just for me to know. Because when we start to put the logical aspect into this, that interferes with the overall experience of the spiritual part. Because nothing in the spiritual realm makes sense logically. And it will never make sense logically, probably until it gets to the 3D reality. And even that's why they're called miracles. Because the logical mind cannot process the things that takes place in the spiritual realms. So even at times, like for me, I do find myself getting frustrated at times because my state of mind, my perspective is always going to be first from a spiritual standpoint. So when I speak and it is received from a 3D perspective, it's going to seem as though I don't know what I'm doing, or I'm feeling too deeply, or I'm not necessarily doing what I'm supposed to be doing. But understand that the role that I have and the job that I have and what is required of me is for me to maintain a certain level of knowing at all times. So I don't mind being the crazy lady. I don't mind the rumors. I don't mind the name calling. I don't mind the attacks. Every time I get an attack is a lesson. What I learned to do now is instantly become the student. Every attack is school. Sit back and take notes. And know why you're here. So for me, I learned not to fight being the observer. Because a lot of times when we're in the passenger seat, we think that we need to have something to say. We need to ask consistently, how far is everything? And what do we need to do? And how much gas is it gonna take? And who's all gonna be there? And are you sure I'm gonna be enough to make it? Am I gonna do it? Asking a million more questions. Because that's me. That is me. I be wanting to know. Is this safe for me? Am I supposed to be here? Because if I'm not, I can go. But let me know, because it's looking kind of scary. You feel me? It be like that. But understand that this is also not a game. And the reason why we get attacked as much as we do is because we are here to shake shit up. We are here to shake shit up. There's nothing else to be done outside of shaking shit up. So when shit gets to shaking, of course, but in order for things to change, in order for people to know what goes on behind the surface level aspect of things, we have to be willing to take the step, no matter how difficult that shit may be. Understand? But do it with courage and do it with knowing of self. Because here's the thing, we're always going to get attacked. Always. Again. That's the point of the human experience. Again. So take notes, study your opponent. So that when they send another one, because they do, but they say new levels, new levels, new levels, new levels, new levels. This is, by the way, y'all, this is a combination of French lavender, chamomile, and herbs. I need to be in a complete state of peace. So, it is also important to have a deep understanding and respect of all things and its purpose. So, understand in life the choices that you make. And understand that now that 5D is really upon us, and we're really, we are upon it because we had to get up here. You feel me? Let's maintain this shit. I am proud. Let's make this very clear. I am proud to be a healer. I am proud to be a spiritual consultant. I am proud to be all of the list of things that I am. Because that is in fact me. And I wear it well. I carry myself well because I have a knowing. So yes, when I refer to myself as a goddess, trust me, darling, it's not because I think it's cute. I am that I am. And that's just how it is. And I will continue developing and maintaining the level of who this version of myself is, because baby, this is just the beginning. So I get the attacks. Oh my God, absolutely. Because trust me, I've been having to take some time to rest and really just take a minute. But I also know that I'm purging because I've gotten to an aspect of self where there's parts of me that I still need to go ahead and dust that off as I'm entering into this phase. So when things start to feel as though it's getting too much and the people, and it's just nonstop, remember who you are. You worked hard. You shed a lot of dead weight. And you made sure that you did the things that you needed to do. So, don't worry if no one else sees the growth except you. Because that's all who matters. We're here for a purpose. And I'm not here for a long time. At all. Never here for a long time. So, take some time and rest in yourself. Get to know yourself again. You understand? Reintroduce yourself to self. Because at the end of the day, everyone that you meet in this human experience is either a perspective of self from its past, present, or future version. So when you see versions of yourself that may remind you or even try to remind you by triggering or being catalysts or providing these tower moments for you to be humiliated, be made to feel away, be any type of low vibrational anything. Just remind yourself, wow, that is an unhealed version of me. And that is the extreme version of myself if I didn't take the moment to heal. If I didn't take the moment to look within, if I didn't take the moment to do my shadow work, if I didn't take the moment to build. It's all about perspective. So, when you're on social media, whether it be YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, understand, utilize that to manifest the version of yourself in a much faster rate. For instance, we're going to manipulate the energetic flow of your algorithm. If you know that you would like to manifest a new home, and remember, nothing is too big or too small or anything. It's about what you desire. As long as it is in alignment with your divine purpose and it matches the frequency that allows that to flow on in, you will be able to attain that by tapping into social media. So now you want your feed, as far as your following, as far as the pages that you go on, to be more real estate friendly, in the sense of, hey, I've seen a few posts that I like, send on in the rest so now I can take a look. Next thing you know, your algorithm is starting to suggest followers who happen to do home rebuilding. Your algorithm is starting to suggest real estate owners. Your algorithm is starting to now reflect the thought pattern of what you put into that. So everything has to be intentional. For instance, on YouTube, tarot. And I speak on tarot because I'm not going to talk about anything. It makes sense, that's why. So use tarot. For me, it's more, you have to utilize it more of a tool. Instead of just tapping into readings for the sake of, oh, I'm just gonna scroll, or for the sake of, oh, well, this is my sun sign, so I know I'm Aries, so I'm just gonna go ahead and type in Aries tarot. What you have to understand now is that when it comes to channeled messages like this, and when it comes to tarot, when it comes to any form of channel that allows you to tap into communication with the spiritual realm, you have to be even more intentional, right? So now, what you start to pay attention to, that's why you have to make sure that you build that relationship with your ancestral team. Build that relationship with your spiritual team, so that you know when you start to see these codes called angel numbers, they're not just angel numbers for the sake of, oh, 1111, this is so cute, 222, this is so cute, I love this. No, understand that every single number is very intentional, and those numbers are attached to certain energies, attached to certain deities, attached to certain spirits, attached to certain entities, all types of different open things. You have to know what you are supposed to be connected to. So for instance, say your number, say you start to say your angel number happens to be like 435 or something like that, right? You should know based off of that number, what things you need to be paying attention to, what things you may need to be buying, what stores you may need to be going to, what people you may need to be interacting with, because those numbers signify that confirmation between your spiritual team and yourself that, hey, you're going in the right direction. So instead of you just frivolously going on different sites and you're just on social media, because let's be real, we are a tech society. We all use tech. I'm using tech right now to be able to relay this channeled message. So it's not like this is something that we're all like, yo, absolutely no, let you know, we gonna utilize it. You understand? It's light and dark to everything. But understand, you have to be very intentional about the way in which you maneuver on this, because you can get caught up in the distraction aspect of this entire thing. So yeah, I could be on YouTube all day, just like the next person. But the next person could be watching something that provides no substance and they're on there for the 16, 20, the whole day. Versus me, I've already watched about 6 documentaries. I've tapped into every single reading, every single message that I need to get into. I done went through that, all because I was distinct about following certain codes that allowed me to go in the right direction. So if I'm not necessarily in the space or have the capacity due to what's going on in the physical realm to hear or feel or even tap into my own gifts, my team still makes sure I'm good. Because they know, you know what, my girl gonna be on the phone for a little bit. Let me make sure I send her this message through this meeting. Matter of fact, I know she's gonna scroll on Facebook in about 2 minutes. Let me go ahead and send this video so when she scrolls and you see the video and you like, dang, word, that shit, that's facts. That resonate with me. You should know. And then you just happen to look down on the comments or you happen to look down on the likes and you see it says 435 likes. That should tell you right there. Oh. Now people tell me that. Okay, thanks for the encouragement, y'all. That's how tapped in. That's how aligned you need to be. So learn. Build a relationship. Yes, we all know the divine. We give all praises to the Most High. Understand? That is never debated. However, we still acknowledge all of Source's creations. So I cannot say, oh, I don't know, this doesn't exist, and I don't know. I've learned so many things. And I've taken what resonated best with me and I felt could assist me on my journey that I would need as far as information. Anything else? This was just good for me to learn. This was just good info. I appreciate the awareness now. Now I know. So when I'm always like, for me, I'm a big fun facts kind of person. But it's not even that it's a know-it-all kind of thing. It's really just a, yo, do you know this information? I would love to pass this on. That's the whole point of us obtaining the knowledge. Not so that we can retain it for ourselves. No, it's so that once we come into contact with the past, present, or future version of ourselves, we are able to do a great level of energy exchange that allows us to learn so that we can make this journey back to self even more easier. It's not about taking shortcuts or trying to get there as fast as you can. It's about figuring out the best way to flow through it. Because whether you take a shortcut here or a shortcut there, you still got to make up for the time that you think that you missed out on. Because you can't skip the lessons. So yes, the suffering, it hurts. I'll be the first to tell you. It really does suck. But, you know, my brother be like, nah, ain't no buts. But in the hell, we're gonna be just fine. Nothing breaks here. And energy never dies. It transforms and it transmutes, but it never dies. And that's just the way we're gonna be, ladies and gentlemen. We gotta focus and know, and be confident in your knowing. That was a lesson for me too, because I lack confidence, and not in the sense of like And crazy, it was like I knew what I was feeling and I knew what I was being told, but I always felt like I needed that extra confirmation and that extra reassurance and that extra. Now it's just like, I know despite of anything that's coming, I know. And I have to, at some point in time, bring me back to, it doesn't matter how far in the deep end I go. I have to, at some point in time, bring it back to, oh yeah, I know. Just maintain a level of consistency is what I'm telling me right now, and I'm also sharing and extending to you all, because at some point in time we have to understand the importance of maintaining this frequency, and it is not easy work. We got it together as we're learning together. That's why all of us who are obedient, it doesn't matter, y'all, how, we just got to keep doing it. We all just have to keep doing it. It's so many of us that's really working hard to drop all kinds of messages, whether it be through tarot, whether it be just through channel messages, whether it be just teaching, schools, like everybody's dropping so much stuff, because at the end of the day, we gotta be on point as far as the collective is concerned. We have to move away from that kind of reality. And we have to get back to self and love who we love and do what we do. But don't we're gonna definitely keep on continuing to operate fully how we need to, because we were built for this. That's why we were sent here. Okay? Let's get it together. Shit, that's for me too, because I had to rejuvenate and reset this morning, because boy, it's been some time. But we good. Love light. Love light. And just because I be saying love light all the time doesn't mean that that's just strictly how I live. I am both light and dark. That is why I'm good at doing what I do. Because I respect and honor the balance of both. That is who I am. And I am that I am. And I cannot change that. So whatever version of me that you see as a reflection of you, that is something that you need to work with it. Because I'm still gonna do what I have to do. But I love y'all. Take care. And I'll catch y'all next video.